My name is Clint Bogard, and I want to talk about the Versa WAN transformation opportunity. A little bit about the company. So we were founded in 2012 by Kumar and Apurva Mehta, the same team that built the Juniper MX series router. We have over 250 employees spanning multiple locations around the globe. We have over $110 million in premium venture funding, with our lead investor being Sequoia Capital, with additional investment from Verizon, Comcast, Mayfield, and Artist. This is our U.S. enterprise field sales team. So the company really had our first big success in the service provider space. So the logos on the screen here are using the Versa solution as the carrier's managed SD-WAN product offering to their enterprise customers. So here in the U.S., Comcast, Verizon, and CenturyLink all use the Versa solution for managed SD-WAN. We've now found a lot of large enterprise customers who want to use our technology to have their own internal SD-WAN for WAN transformation. So the companies like Visa, Capital One, First Data, et cetera, value the same scale, maturity, resiliency, and robust capabilities that the service provider has found in the Versa solution. So to talk to a couple of these, Capital One has 750 banks in the U.S., and they've migrated about 450 over to Versa. Each site has 2 redundant Versa nodes for routing and SD-WAN, and they're leveraging our multi-tenancy capability. NOV down in Houston has over 650 sites, and they've migrated over 100 to the Versa SD-WAN solution, and they're deploying 100 more sites this year. Adobe has 65 high-capacity sites around the globe, and they've migrated all of them over to the Versa solution. Caliber Home Loans down in Dallas has over 325 locations, and they've migrated all those over to Versa. Uber has 23 sites running Versa. All the Verizon retail stores are migrating to Versa. EY just moved forward with a Versa deployment. So that's some of our enterprise customers. So what does our solution do? So where a lot of other vendors just do a basic SD-WAN solution, and there's about 40 vendors in that SD-WAN space. Versa really has a robust, complete WAN transformation solution that allows customers to really thoroughly transform the branch network and their wide area network. So our solution provides both robust routing, robust SD-WAN, a robust security stack with next-gen firewall and unified threat management, support for SD-WAN over LTE, support for UCPE, so you can actually load other VMs on top of the Versa solution. We also have robust network analytics to provide better visibility into the wide area networks, the applications running across the network, and the security of the perimeter of the network. Our solution is entirely multi-tenant. We allow people to migrate from managing hundreds or thousands of routers over to managing a handful of templates. You can manage the entire solution through a single pane of glass, and we have robust standardized APIs for every element of our solution. So our solution can run on bare metal white boxes, including Dell. We can run on Versa branded appliances. We can run on virtual machines. We can also run in AWS or Azure infrastructure to allow enterprise customers to connect their AWS or Azure infrastructure into their SD-WAN. So with the Versa solution, we allow customers to deploy the Versa solution at all their branches, allowing multiple transports into each branch for high availability, local security at every single branch. We can run the solution over LTE, cable, DSL, Ethernet, MPLS, whatever transport you want, and you can mix and match to your heart's content. We dramatically speed up the time to spin up a new branch from days to really minutes. We can deliver superior branch uptime. We can still keep the branch secure. We can deliver a better employee and guest network experience, deliver better voice and video over the WAN, give the enterprise more WAN circuit options, and dramatically lower costs for both the WAN and the transport. So this is what a typical site looks like with Versa. So we have our Wi-Fi access points for Wi-Fi in the branch. We have typically a PoE switch for servicing access points and various devices in the branch. Then we have the Versa node. This is basically our LAN to WAN router. We may have LTE connectivity, internet connectivity, MPLS connectivity, up to 6 different WAN transports. And the Versa device is doing SD-WAN functions, router functions, next-gen firewall functions, and LTE functions. This could be a single box per branch, or there could be redundant HA boxes. So there are really 3 elements to the Versa software. We have Flex VNF, which is really the workhorse of the solution. This is the software that goes in every appliance at every branch, doing routing and SD-WAN and next-gen firewall. Versa Director is our single pane of glass for management. And then Versa Analytics is the big data solution. So it's a repository of all the stuff that's happened on the SD-WAN underlay and overlay, all the security status, and allows the network manager to have better visibility into applications running across the WAN, utilization by site, etc. So this is what a typical Versa deployment looks like. We're going to have appliances typically in every location providing LAN to WAN connectivity. This could be full mesh SD-WAN or hub to spoke or a combination thereof. Back in what we call the head end, we have a director, typically HA, analytics, typically HA, and controller, also typically HA. So the controller is what I like to call the brain of the SD-WAN. This is the route reflector for the SD-WAN, and it is also the secure gateway into the SD-WAN security keys. So very important element. So important we have a separate node just for this controller function. This controller is actually running the exact same software as a typical Flex VNF router. It's just a special device doing this control function. So the entire solution is template based. So rather than managing hundreds or thousands of individual boxes, you're managing a handful of templates. So if, for example, you're a retail customer, you might have one template for a store, one template for a warehouse, one template for headquarters, and then one template for a data center. So you're managing a handful of templates versus a bunch of boxes. You can also have service templates that roll into these site templates. So you may have a firewall template, a QoS template, an application template, or multiples of each one of those. So if you wanted, for example, the same firewall policies for all your sites, you can have a single firewall template that's common across all sites. What the IP bind data is obviously at each site, you may have the same template, but you may have different LAN IP and WAN IP data. So what the bind data is I think of it as a spreadsheet that sits inside Director, and it keys off the serial number of each device. So if, for example, you're going to deploy device X at a new site, it would be an entry in that spreadsheet with the device serial number, what template that device would get, for example, a store template, what IP data should be for that site, both on the LAN and the WAN. Now, when that device presents itself, it's going to grab its config, grab its LAN IP, grab its WAN IP from the head end, configure itself, reboot, and be good to go. The entire Versa solution is multi-tenant, so every element of the solution is multi-tenant, so director, analytics, controller, the branch appliance. We can even have different SD-WAN topology per tenant. So we have the most robust multi-tenancy of any SD-WAN vendor on the market. We do also support UCPE. So not only can the Versa appliance, physical or virtual, perform routing, SD-WAN, and firewall functions, we can also host third-party VMs. So for example, in this example, we're using a Fortinet firewall, Riverbed WAN optimization, and these are riding on top of the Versa solution. And we also take care of the service chain management. We do support high availability. So in this example, we have high availability WAN transport. Any WAN transport can go down and the network remains up. For customers looking for appliance level redundancy, we do support both active-active and active standby HA. You'd have a WAN transport, multiple WAN transports, and any given box would not bring down the site. We do have very robust SD-WAN capabilities. I don't want to get too technical. A couple things to highlight. We do support forward error correction. So if, for example, you have a remote site that has a lossy WAN link, we can basically, for every fourth packet, we can create a synthetic fifth packet, like a checksum packet. And if, as the packets go from site A to site B, there is packet loss, we can reconstruct the lost packets on the other side. We do also support packet cloning between sites. We also can identify the MOS score of voice traffic and take action based on that MOS score. So if, for example, MOS score drops below a 3.5 for voice traffic, we can either begin applying FEC to all voice streams, or we could basically move that traffic from, let's say direct internet to MPLS. We also support very robust routing, so carrier grade NAT, VRP, BGP, OSPF, the most robust routing stack of any SD-WAN vendor. We do have the most robust integrated security capabilities, full-on next-gen firewall, full support for IP filtering, DNS filtering, URL filtering, antivirus, IPS, IDS, HTTP, HTTPS proxy, very robust security. We do partner with some of the leading security vendors to keep our database of known bad IP, known bad URLs, known antivirus up to date. We have subscriptions with all these vendors and typically are getting very regular updates. We're pretty proud of this. This just came out from NSS Labs, and this was their next-gen firewall security value map. And they looked at all the various next-gen firewall vendors and ranked them. So versus in the upper right with Palo Alto and Fortinet, we've actually done a number of pen tests for some very large financial organizations since this came out. So I think if they scored us again, we'd be even higher and more to the right. We have a number of other significant security certifications. So you can run the Versa solution on white box. You can also run it on the Dell VEP series of network appliances. So the VEP 4600 is enterprise class appliance, available in an 8-core and 16-core version, 10 gig in, 10 gig out. And then there is a smaller form factor, VEP 1400, scheduled to ship in the March 2019 timeframe. That gives you a small form factor, very inexpensive fanless device, available with 4 and 8-core processor versions. So this is really Versa separating the software from the hardware. You can run Versa software on Versa appliances or Dell appliances or white box appliances. This is the latest Versa appliance. This is the CloudGate 700 series. This ships in February 2018, available in 2, 4, and 8-core appliances. This is a fanless device also. This is just a quick comparison on Versa versus Cisco for SD-WAN. Cisco has a story that at first blush may sound similar to Versa. They do talk about routing, SD-WAN, and next-gen firewall all running the same appliance, but their approach is very different. So what Cisco's done is taken some very nice hardware in the ISR family. They're running a virtualization layer on top of that with different VMs for the ISR, Viptela, and Firepower all service chained together. So it's a hypervisor layer, which does rob you about 25% performance of the box. And then you're running multiple VMs in there, so you require more memory, more processing power. You then have a different pane of glass for managing each element, a different SmartNet contract for each virtual machine in addition to the appliance. So overall, a much more complex solution requiring much beefier hardware, much more expensive hardware, and multiple pieces of software and lots of SmartNet. So very expensive, very complicated solution. So what Versa's done is we have a single appliance running a single piece of software managed through a single pane of glass with all the software support built in and a cost-effective support on the hardware platform. So really this is a very elegant solution for complete WAN transformation. So if we take a bird's eye view of how we feel we stack up to the competition, we do have the most robust integrated security with integrated next-gen firewall and unified threat management. We have the most flexibility in large-scale deployments, so full support for mesh, hub and spoke, spoke to hub, hub to spoke, or combinations thereof. No one does brownfield better than Versa. Support for robust historical analytics, either on-site or on the cloud. Everything about our solution is multi-tenant. We are using standard BGP for the overlay, where some of our competition is using proprietary protocols for the overlay. We can host other VMs on top of Versa. We're the only vendor with full IP version 6 support today. You can still log into any node via CLI if you want to. A lot of network managers still like that capability. You can deploy on cost-effective Intel-based white box. And then if you look at the total cost of ownership for routing, SD-WAN, and security, we are by far the least expensive solution. So really, as large enterprise looks at WAN transformation, Versa has the most complete solution available today, shipping today, delivering on really the complete promise of WAN transformation and SD-WAN. If you'd like more information, be sure and contact your Versa sales rep. Have a great day.